Last week we were in print land, making prints and doing all kind of little shenanigans and making creative stuff. But you know, there's even more to it than just what we just did. And you don't have to do what I'm going to do, but I want to show it to you. And next week we're going to really get into it. But I do have a website link. I'm going to show you how to make prints, and it gives you instructions on how to make your prints in Illustrator and what I'm going to do. So you can watch what I'm going to do. Don't have to do it now, but when you look at the link, then I'm going to send you the website that does it. It's a company that sells t-shirts and mugs and clocks. And so if you do your own artwork like I did here, see, there's my band. And it's like a little spirit with the moon, supposed to be a little bear. This is a company called Redbubble. So you can do your artwork and they put it on your cups, put it on your t-shirt, put it on your bags. So they show you how to do print design. So I was seeing the link. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to my swatches and I'm gonna drag out and see the little plus sign, let go, there's my print. So there's my leopard print that I pulled from my swatches. And now this is kind of big. Now I'm gonna do a little print story with this. So in Illustrator, down at the bottom of your window, there is symbol library. And they have 3D symbols, they have arrows, celebration, dots, fashion. Fashion really sucks. Oh my God, fashion is horrible. Don't use it. It's horrible, it's evil. I'll show you why. Look at that, that's crap. What is that? It's a hat. Look at this shoe. That is not fashion. I'm sorry. That's a lie. Look at these pants. Look at no, it's horrible. And what's this color? It's not fashion. It could have been pink and light blue. Nasty orange. Anyway, that's my worst symbol. Let's close that because they're ugly. So let's go to symbols. Go back down to symbol. I'm gonna get, there's sushi, there's nature. So you have butterflies and bugs and fish and a scorpion and then a shark. Ooh, he's fancy. Fancy shark. He's like, look at him. He's like he's in Tron, the Tron game, like a video game. And you have trees. So you have all these wonderful things, but that's still not my symbols I'm going to use, because the shark is actually kind of fun. You can put shark with leopard print. Now, how would that be crazy? So that's your design. If you want shark with leopard print, go ahead. I like the knowledge shell. It's very pretty. Now look at this, look how pretty that looks. Now, how come fashion doesn't look like that? I mean, seriously, they spent hours on this. Okay, no more venting. Just that ugly fashion. Get away, clothes, go away. Trash you. So this is my story. I'm gonna make a print. And when I tell people to make a print, you always think about, what is the story about your print? There's always a story. Like Picasso, his artwork is crazy and abstract, but even his artwork has a story in it. So symbols for my print design, I'm gonna use Tiki. And this is Gladys. Let me pull her out. This is Gladys. See, look at Gladys. And this is her husband, Earl. See? And then their cat. Cat likes Earl. And then there's the poodle. Fifi. Fifi don't like Earl and don't like the cat. So, but Fifi likes Gladys. So Fifi hangs out with Gladys. And Gladys is mad at Earl because he got his drum set out because his friends are coming over. And he's got his guitar. See, here's the whole story. So these are symbols in here. And he went to the flea market at the Rose Bowl in Pasadena, and he bought this. A big, huge tiki head. See that? So she's mad at him because he bought that. So what you're gonna do, if you want, you could put all of these little symbols on your pattern. Make Earl a little bit bigger. And then Gladys is standing over there with the poodle. The poodle's like in front of her, like, ugh. There's the guitar. So if you take this, select the whole thing, Earl, his wife, and the cat, and drag your leopard print back into your swatches. And I'll make a square, make a circle. And that's the original one. Now, voila. See? So I have the original, and now I have my print design with the Tiki, Gladys, and Earl. Cool? So there's a lot more to it, but if you do that, I always tell people, when you put your artwork on your print, don't let it go out, because if the guitar is on the edge and then the drum is over here on the corner and it's poking out, it breaks your print. So I'm gonna show you what happened. So this won't be a good print because Illustrator is reading. Let me do that again. Let me zoom back. Let me select the whole thing. Try one more time. I made a mistake. I didn't move everything. There we go. There we go. So now, because of the guitar is poking out, see what happens? It's broken because that part of the guitar is going off the leopard print. So, and then the drums is in the corner. So Illustrator doesn't see that. Sorry. So Illustrator is not seeing that repeat. So don't go outside the edges of your artwork. You have to let, if you do, if you have a print and you want it really big and it happens to poke outside your box, you got to let Illustrator do that for you. So I'm going to do another one. That way we can see it. So let's just say I put the nautilus here. I want it really big, but I want a nautilus here, and I want another nautilus up here. So, but they're going outside the box. So what you gotta do is put one here, start with one. I'm gonna select my pattern. And just a second, I'm gonna turn off my guides because my guides are in the way. I'm gonna clear my guide. There we go. I'm gonna select the square and the nautilus. And under object, you go to pattern and make. And what Illustrator is gonna do is do the rest for you. So you will see what's gonna happen. So let me zoom back. And you see how it's making the pattern and the nautilus. Now watch what happens. When I move this nautilus down, see how that moves? So it's almost like we did offset. It goes over here. So if this one goes outside the square, see? But watch, like offset. It's just like we did offset. So if I put one, another one up here, it shows up, but it's broken. So I'm gonna put it down here instead. See? So it's repeating in that square of that print. So let me lower the transparency down.
What option menu did you go to find pattern?
That's under object, pattern, and then make.
Okay, thanks.
So I started with my pattern I cropped, and I put a symbol in it on top of that. And now, as I move that, the mirror image is following wherever this one goes. If I reflect it, go to transform, reflect. I'm gonna say go the other way. And if I rotate it, all the other shells also do the same thing. And then if I make this a pattern, all I have to do is go to object, pattern, and save a copy. And I can just name it whatever I want and say okay. And then I can hit cancel or done. So I'm gonna hit cancel. So now I'm gonna go to my square. To my circle. I have this one. And see? Now you have a pattern. How do you get this one to Photoshop? The same way I would do if I took the Earl print out, and I'm gonna take the knowledge shell out. Now you notice, see how it's doing it? See how there's knowledge on each corner? Because it made one on each corner. So when I put one, I took the duplicate, it's duplicating, and it's dividing right there on the edge of that line. So if you look at the edge of that box, you can tell where the knowledge is repeating. So it's showing you the full repeat, just like we will crop it. So what you would do is I'm gonna take this into Photoshop. So I'm gonna copy this, and I have a handout for this too. So I'm gonna copy it. And like I said, you don't have to do this right now, but if you want to make your print that you did already, a new one, this is what you can do. But you don't have to do it. Next week we'll do it, but I just wanna show you. So I'm gonna copy this. I'm gonna go to Photoshop. So I'm in Photoshop. I'm gonna say new. And because I copy, when you copy something from Illustrator, it holds it in the clipboard. So, and it's gonna be the same size as my knowledge. So let's see. Let's do an 8.8, but I'm gonna change this to 150. And I'm gonna say transparent background, very important. So it's a blank page, but when I paste my Nautilus, I'm gonna paste as pixel. There it is. So I just basically copy from Illustrator into Photoshop, and I'm gonna crop it. You know what I'm gonna do before I crop it? I'm gonna be very precise. Let me zoom in. I'm gonna get my guides in Photoshop so I can crop it exactly where I want it to crop. So I'm gonna make sure I crop it to the edge of my artwork and down at the bottom too. So I'm looking for the background square. Now when I crop, the crop will fit to my square without me having to go like this, like we did in Illustrator. And I'm gonna hit OK. So there's my repeat. So now I got rid of the extra stuff just like we did before. So Photoshop, there is no swatches, but if you go to Edit, Define Pattern, it saves it in a special folder for you. So if you do a new page, I'm gonna do a page, a letter. And I'm going to go to my layer. So I have my blank page. So watch, layer, new adjustment, new fill layer, new fill layer, pattern. And there's your, see? That's the Nautilus, and you can make it bigger, smaller. So that's what I'm gonna do. So that is the Nautilus print. Custom print made in Illustrator, I brought over to Photoshop. So I could change this and make it my fabric print. So I need my little model. And I'm gonna put the print in the model's pants. So I'm gonna put it in the pants here. So, and I'm gonna do it in the top too, but I'm gonna do it smaller. So I'm going to make a selection real big, like that. So I have that selection. So that's my selection. And I'm going to go to my layers. So I have the model, and I'm going to click here. Same way, say pattern. See, it made a pattern, and I'll make it smaller. I'm gonna do like 34%, maybe 45. So I have the pattern, I have the model. When it's a smart object, if I turn it, see the Nautilus, it doesn't turn. They still stay vertical. They're not turning. So I'm gonna undo that. So what you gotta do is make this a smart object. So remember how we did the smart object? Convert to smart object. Now this is the fun part. This is where it gets really interesting. I made it a smart object. Everyone see that? So I have the pattern and I have my model, 2-layer. This is a smart object. I'm going to now turn it and see, it rotates. But this is better. Watch this. If you go to Edit, Transform, and choose Warp, now watch. It's on warp mode. Now watch. You could bend it like paper. So now I'm going to bend it to make it look like it's on her pants. So she's walking, one pants is going forward. So I bend this forward. Then I'm kind of like pushing this back. That's all. I'm not doing too much. And then like on the curve of the hip, I do like that. And then like this. I'm just twisting it. And then there's handles that control it too. Where's that other handle? See, there's a handle. So if you had a skirt, you can do like a curve to it. So I'm just gonna do like that and hit enter. I'm gonna turn it off because I have to select the pants. So I'm gonna do quick selection, select the pants, make sure I'm on the right layer. Sorry, wrong layer. Let me start over. That, get the knee. I think I picked up extra, but that's okay. I'll just delete that. And I'm just gonna take the lasso faster, do minus. Come on, do negative. Come on, lasso, behave. There we go. I don't want that. I'm going to trace around. Remove that. So I'm going to add a little bit more of the pants, not the shirt, a little minus, just a little of the shirt. So now I have this. I turn the pattern back on, select the pattern layer, and then you press the mask button to put a mask to the pattern. And there's your print inside the shape of the pants with the mask. And then to make it look more natural, because you can't see the wrinkles and the folds and the shadows, you do your blending. And I said multiply or linear burn. And I might lower the opacity down a little bit. That way you can see the shadows. So that is the print. Any questions? Cool? So I'm gonna do the top. Let's do the top now. And I could do this side first because I want to drape it and make it look like it's on a bias. So I'm gonna do one side and then this side. So I'm going to make a selection. Let's say I'm selecting this side. And I'm going to fill this in, this blob, with the print. Here the pattern. And I did 50%. I'm gonna do even tinier. I'm gonna do a smaller one. 23%, maybe smaller. 12%. And then I'm gonna make it a smart object. I'm gonna convert to smart object. And I'm gonna transform it. Let me rotate it. I wanna make sure it covers. I'm gonna rotate it a little bit more. And then I'm gonna edit, transform, and do warp. And now I can do more bending and making it look like it's folding and draping. To the model. Enter. I'm done. Now I'm gonna select the top. Select this part of the collar. Go back to it and make sure I'm on the layer. Let's zoom in. Around the neck. Down the front. Because it's the same color, I'm capturing the jacket as well. So I'm going to deselect that. And let me just quickly and fast lasso minus, because I don't want to select this part of the jacket. So I'm going to go around. There we go. I just want to capture the shirt. I think I got everything. Follow the little folds and the drapes. Put the print on, turn it back on, and then do your mask. And then you can do blend. So let's see. Ooh, that's color dodge. Different blend. See how that blend? Linear burn. Or you could probably do overlay. Or soft light. Or pin light. Some are okay. Difference is different. Made a change. Ooh, that changed to even purple. How's that? I didn't have to do color dodge. So if I lower it down, I can still see the folds. So now I made it purple. But I could have done this without the subtract. I could have done a overlay. I could have done linear burn. And then I could have done to this layer, adjustment layer, hue and saturation. And then do colorize. Remember that? Don't turn it, don't let it color everything. Remember to click the button. There we go. You can do a colorized version of that print. Or you can just say uncolorize and then just let the hue shift.
To colorize it, you just right-click the layer, right?
I clicked on this layer. I pressed the adjustment, did the hue and saturation. It came on. And then I made sure to clip the button. Oop, it's on. So it only didn't change her, see? Ooh, that's cool. But I only wanted to change that print to that color. Now, what you could do, now if you do this side, right, you got to do hue and saturation to make it match, or you can have two contrast colors. So if you did this side, you could put these together in a folder and then do hue and saturation above that folder. So everything in that folder changes. Like we did a long time ago with the hue and saturation. So I'll show you. Just for example, I'm gonna select, let's do this. If I select this, you can get the color, and it's very, very possible. It's not it's not impossible, but it takes a little finesse. And I'm just saying it because if you did something and you're doing hue and saturation, change the color or something, and you want to do another part of the garment and do hue and saturation, it would take a while to get it to match. So I'm not going to do all of that warping. I'm going to do a fast pattern print. And I think I did 15% or 12%. I think it was 12. So see how this is the original color? So if I did hue and saturation to this one, I gotta sit here and try to get it to match that one. Make sense? So you'll be fighting those two together. So I'm gonna hit the trash can. this is what you can do. I'm gonna put this one with the other print. I'll make this a folder or a group, new group from this layer. So now they're a group. And the hue and saturation, I'm gonna take it and put it above the folder. Come on, go above the folder. Won't go above the folder. I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna uncheck it and put it above the folder. There we go. So now see what happens. But I'm gonna tell it to stop and only change those folders, see? Because they're in their own folder, those two layers are now the same hue and saturation, the same color blending. That's much easier because if you have this one, then you gotta make this one match. See, brand new. I didn't do the blending, so I'm gonna go click on this one. That was linear burn, do linear burn. And then I think this one was 57%, that one's 100%. Actually, I kind of like that. I'm gonna do 70%, 75. Break that up. So let's zoom in. So now you can see the shells, the Nautilus shells had changed. And you have the same print in a larger but a different colorway. So that's why I said, if you use black, look what happens. If I move this over onto black, look, it's gone. It literally just dissolves. So your whole print just fights. The only way to get it to show is if you go to maybe like lighter color. And hopefully, but you may not be able to see the shadow through it. So it just doesn't work on black. So I tell everyone, you know, a black print needs to be black. And then you can get it to let the shadows show. But there's secrets to that. But that's what I would do with this print. And let's see, if I did inner glow, I'm gonna mess around. I never done it before. With this, I'm gonna try inner glow. I don't know if it's gonna work. It's on the edge. Yeah, it's on the edge. If I put it on the center, no. Let's do, that's if you want to try. I was trying to see if you want to do like a shine. Make it shiny. Oh, there we go. It does kind of work. It does add like a little shine to it. So that was inner glow, everyone. That was inner glow. I did an overlay of white and I put it on the edge. Not on the edge, that's the edge. Actually, the edge doesn't look too bad. But I put it on the center and I made it bigger. That makes it shrink. I don't play with the choke because the choke will make it look like a shape or a blob. So that is the project for this week. And what you're gonna do is when you have this all done, you select your your model. Let's see if we do object selection quicker. There we go. I'm gonna object select and mask. And then I'm gonna bring her into the last week layout where you had your garments. You could take one of the garments out and put your model in. is a sketch of for a movie for costuming, and I took the artwork, which is just the watercolor, and then I superimposed the fur print over the skirt, and then I said, well, let's change the fur to a look of tiger stripe fur. So once again, I took it and warped it. Let me turn off the mask for a moment. I'm gonna disable the mask. So you can see how I bend it to make it curve, look like it's falling and hitting the floor and curving. So I'm gonna turn back on the mask, and then I put it inside that garment, into that little throw. So this is just working with images. So like this one too, if you have a sketch, and let's say you didn't want the color your dress to show. So if you select your dress and you can make it neutral and remove the color, you could do the black and white adjustment filter. So under adjustment layer, I select this, I can go to adjustment, black and white, and I could take the blue and slide the slider to the blue becomes transparent. And that is the green. So I can slide the green until it fades out. And there is, what else? There's just blue and green in this painting. So you could take it out and adjust out the colors you don't want, or bring in colors you do want to see. If there's red, you want to make it light, the red white, or the yellow. There's yellow in that green. So you may, even it figures out there's like yellow inside that green, you could do that. That way you have a clean image to put your pattern over. And that way you don't have it mixing with your print that you're putting on. So now if I put a print over this, do I have a print? Let's see. I did have, I don't know if no, I didn't bring them over. Let's go to Illustrator. For example, I do have my Nautilus, but I just want my leopard print. So copy that. Bring that in. And say new. $150, please. Transparent. I want RGB color. Just a note to everyone, when you do color mode, if it says CMYK, change it to RGB. It just looks better. So I'm going to change it to RGB, paste my leopard print, and I'm going to say edit, define pattern. So now when I go to my figure here, see, I just need to do, I'm gonna do this. Put my little print in. And this one's good because this one has like a little swing to the, oh, okay, perfect, 100%. Make it a smart object. Transform, Command T. I'm gonna say warp. Now I can make it look like it's moving with the skirt. Curving in. So I can make it follow the curve of the dress hem. There we go. I'm gonna select the dress again. And I'm gonna mask that. Then I'm gonna do my little, no. I'm gonna try overlay. Let's see. Oh, our light totally makes it brighter. Lower the opacity. Multiply. And like I said, you could even come back and add shadow to this, to your print and highlight. So layer style. And you have inner glow. So I'm gonna make it really bright. So you can see it gets really bright. But I'm adjusting it. So it's just softer here. Not so much opacity, just very soft. And then I can do a inner shadow for a little shading. The choke makes it really pronounced and you see a more defined edge to it. So I don't want to do too much choke. I want it to be softer. I just want it to come from the edge a little bit. It may become too dark up there. So that's the only problem. I probably would have to do this separate in two pieces. But see, that's just a little effect of inner glow. So if you have your own sketch, you can even apply your fabrics to your sketch. So I need to get this. So that'd be my print. big. Scale. 50%. Scale. Perfect. So if you put your print in a square, everyone, and actually I'm gonna fix this one. Let me do this one again. I'm gonna take this, make it red, make this one red, make this print bigger, this print bigger. And I'm gonna scale it down. And I'm going to do 25%. Let's see. 35%. On a really big shell. And then I'm going to get the eyedropper. Oh, there we go. So they are matching. But if you want to move a print in your swatches, if you take the black arrow and you hold down the teal key, which is next to the number 1, press that down and take the black arrow and drag, you can move your artwork inside the square without having to move the square. So if I go to my sleeve, I can press down the teal key, take the black arrow. Oh, sorry, the white arrow. I have to ungroup it. Let me ungroup it. And I can move my design in my sleeve or in the other sleeve. But hold the teal key. And that's the key that's on the left side of number 1. So it has like this little icon. I'll show you. It looks like this little, that's the teal. That's not the teal, that's a fill. So it looks like that. So if you had taken Spanish, it's just above the letter N in mañana. So that's they call it the tile key. You hold that down when you take the arrow, and then when you drag, your print moves. So if you say, I want my artwork to match in the front, I want the shells to move and match for me, then you can do your adjustments to fix your print.